Happy freaking Valentine's Day! Welcome back to the channel. It's McNulty here, and whether you love it or you hate it, Valentine's Day is here. Whether you're in the doghouse or whether you're in the big house, Valentine's Day's here. It is the season of love, and of course that's why we've got our base decked out with all hearts and everything else. We've got my little Cupid icon, and I'm going all out for Valentine's Day. But let's see if SG are going to do the same thing. We've got two brand new 5 stars, I believe, in the seasonal portal. And from what I've heard so far, they're not so great. So we're going to have a closer look at these two heroes and make our minds up for ourselves, because maybe there is something to be said about Anteros, the flying little cherub, and Dodgrom, the weird head scratchy little ogre goblin weirdo thingy-majig. I'm really excited to look at these two. Anyway, let's get into it. So we will start with this little lady here. I'm not sure what she's supposed to be. Like, what actually is that? Like a mechanical heart? She makes hearts, she makes love. Maybe the love blacksmith? Fuck knows. Anyway, Anteros is a holy hero. Right away, I can see the team power is freaking awesome. That is pretty much, I mean, that's right in line with Beowulf and his friends. I mean, he's 1164. For a seasonal hero to have 1163, that is pretty good. Pretty good is probably an understatement. The stats on this hero is very good for a seasonal hero. So that's impressive. And then we've got the cleric class, so that's nice. So we get that little extra mana shield, which is awesome because they get the chance to resist any negative mana effects and effects that prevent the use of special skills. Kinda doesn't really need everything like that because they already have this passive, which is a resistance against special skill blocking. So she has innate resistance against status effects that block special skills anyway. And that is why Cupido is actually so good in this family, because when he gives that mindless heal, if it does get reflected, because there's a lot of reflect out there at the moment, in case you haven't noticed, everybody freaking reflects or resists status elements. It's just ridiculous. But with Anteros, if she does get the reflect back at her, at least she doesn't then get that negative attack or that mindless heal with Cupido. That's my experience, but he's a really good hero because of that. So they do get the Cupid family bonus. Just for a quick recap, because it has been a while, solo heroes get 20% increase for any healing received. So team members are solo heroes if they have no family or realm members in the team. It's not just like a solid extra 20% on top of the heal. So somebody explained this to me when I did the last video. It's not like if you were getting 50%, you just suddenly get 70%. You get the extra 20% of the 50%. But they do still increase the healing, which is pretty cool. And it kind of goes by the wayside a lot of the time with this family. As I mentioned, she's also got that resistance against special skill blocking, which means she can't get silenced and things like that, which is awesome. As for the art, I freaking hate it. She looks terrible. Like, it looks tacky. It looks not very good. I mean, the art on the older Valentine's heroes is similar, but not quite as trashy. So I feel like they can at least ramp things up a bit. I like the little green goblin dude, but like this one, nah, not so much. So let's have a look at what she's actually doing. So special skill. In fact, yeah, she benefits from the attack up ether talent, and her attack is super high. I mean, like super duper high. Like really, I was going over this with Beowulf yesterday, I think, with the video on him, and her attack is as good as our brand new master swordsman. So that's pretty good. So her special skill, it's called Love at First Sight. Of course it is. And she's running at fast speed. So this special skill never misses its targets. Again, she doesn't have the icon that they're putting on with the other heroes. She's got it as part of her description, which is an interesting choice. She deals 460% damage to the target. And then for 3 turns, the target is forced to cast Mindless Heal when at full mana. Okay, is that it? No, it just explains about how mindless heal recovers 20% health for the character on the opposing side with the lowest remaining HP. So that is basically it. I mean, this hero, she could be running at very fast speed, and I wouldn't be mad at that. But the fact that she's running at fast speed, I'm kind of mad at it. Like, I'm not super mad at it, but only kind of mad at it. Because the thing is, would I rather have her at fast speed, or would I rather have Cupido, who's at average speed, who hits 3 and does like the exact same thing with the mindless attack? Because let's not get it twisted. The main thing here is the mindless attack, not the fact that the special skill never misses, and not the fact that she's doing 460% damage, which granted is quite a bit of damage, but that's not the main thing. The main thing is the mindless heal. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm not super impressed by this hero. The only thing I am impressed by is the stats, because obviously she's going to be able to keep pace with the other heroes for a lot longer. So if you max this hero out, it's more than likely that she will still be relevant, say in a year's time. Where you've got a hero like Cupido, he's only relevant in more certain circumstances. I mean, I've got him in my roster actually. Let's just have a quick look at him. He is somewhere here. There we go. Right. Yeah. So 1,019 team power, and that's with 85 and at 20 emblems. So he needs some work to be able to be even in the same realm, because if you were to put like a single limit break even on this one, then she's going to just go way past. I mean, 1531 with double limit breaks, she'll probably be at about, I don't know, 1350 or 1400 without them. So that's pretty huge. So yeah, aside from the stats though, not the greatest hero. Let's move on to our other hero in the portal. Let's have a look and see if he can do any better. So Dodgrom, I must say I really like this guy. So Dodgrom, he is by the looks of it, like an ogre. He is of the monk class, so he gets a chance to resist, which is pretty cool. He's trying to figure out what the heck to do with that little axe in his hand, which is super funny. Or is that? Yeah, it's like a mini axe. He gets the same family bonus and the same passive, so we won't bother going over those again. And in terms of stats, again, 1163s, but he's a bit more defensive, but still pretty balanced, so decent stats across the board. He benefits from the regen ether talent, so that just means that at the start of the battle, he regenerates 420 health over 6 turns, which is really not a great ether talent, to be fair. And in terms of the special, it's called Looking for Love. Somebody love this guy. I'm sure we've got loads of heroes in this game who can show this guy some love. So the caster gets Taunt. That prevents enemies from using special skills on the caster's allies for 4 turns. Okay, 4-turn Taunt at average speed. That's pretty good. The caster counterattacks a random enemy with 80% of the damage received for 4 turns. Okay. That's not as good. It's okay. And then the caster reduces all received damage by 35% for 4 turns. Okay. This guy I can find a lot of usability for. Like I can find a lot of uses for him just because of the taunt and the damage reduction. I do like that because you have to get through the taunt first. He's still got the damage reduction. And if you fire anything at him, the fact that he's putting up the counter attack doesn't really affect the damage reduction at all. So this guy's kind of like an Oni Wakamaru, except that he can be dispelled and he's running at average speed. And the only problem with this guy is that his counter attack's just not high enough. And I don't understand why he has to counter attack a random enemy rather than just the enemy that attacks him. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much counter-attacking a random enemy. Maybe it's got to do with the way he's like thinking and trying to find love and really doesn't know what's going on, which is okay. I mean, he could be like the is it the orcs from Warhammer 40,000, where they're like just seriously dim and like whatever somebody says is reality. Like if they're running like across a freaking, you know, like the sky, for example, and then somebody says, oh shit, we're in the air, then they all suddenly fall down. It's kind of like that, I think. But the point is, the counterattack at 80% is just not enough. I don't think that the counterattack's really going to do very much, but I do think he's going to be useful as a taunt hero. So for his taunt and for the damage reduction, that's very unique. When you're giving taunt with damage reduction, it's like a match made in heaven. So for a good taunt option for this guy, I would say, yeah, I'll give him a solid A+ to be fair. Like, I mean, I would use him instead of Shrub Bear. I know it sounds crazy, but there are other taunters out there. Like, I mean, there's that green construct hero, I forget his name now, who does like Void Bomb or something, whatever it's called. But like, he's actually, he has like a delayed heal, but I'd probably rather have this guy because his stats are already great. You know he's going to be stocky. And when you have a taunt hero, their main function is to take damage. And if you give them damage reduction, I mean, they're golden all day long. So yeah, I think this guy's actually going to be really useful. So huge congrats if you do manage to get your hands on Mr. Dodgrom. Let's have a look. I don't think we have any 3s or 4 stars. It's just the 2 new 5 stars in the portal for now. So yeah, I mean, you know, first impressions, Anteros is good stats wise, but otherwise pretty trashy. This guy is actually somebody that I'd probably like to have, and I think that he will be a really useful hero. I mean, I like them both better than the Lunar New Year heroes that we just recently had. So yeah, congrats if you do manage to get your hands on these guys. Please do let me know in the comments what you guys think about our 2 brand new seasonal heroes. Drop us a like, subscribe to the channel if you guys are not subscribed already, share it with your mother, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye for now.